Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today is a fun day because, my gosh y'all, we are like officially under construction here at the house. If you have no clue what we are doing, we have completely ripped out all of our landscaping at the front of our house, and we're going big. You know what they say, go big or go home. Well, I'm already home, so we're going big, right? What is the option? Having lots of fun with this fall project. Fall is the perfect time to do some projects here in the southeast, of course, North Carolina, zone 8A. And so what we are doing, like I said, ripped out completely our front landscape. We are making it bigger. We are putting in a new stone sidewalk with curbing. It's not edging, it's called curbing. We were corrected today, so we will explain more about that in just a little bit. But back here in the corner, I don't know if you can see him, but we have got Chandler and Israel are here beginning this this project. This is day 2 of us doing this as far as the construction portion of the actual getting the front yard done. We've already ripped up our whole driveway, put in drainage systems. If you missed that video, I will link that for you. But lots of fun, exciting things happening today. So what we're gonna do is give you a project update. I'm gonna show you the plants because Jerry and I went shopping again first thing this morning to get plants for this area. Went back to our friends at Stowe's Nursery in Gastonia. If you're local, go check them out. They have an amazing selection of shrubs and trees. That's their main focus. Shrubs and trees are their main focus. They have some perennials, but oh my gosh, I got a beautiful specimen that we're going to put in the front that we had to tear up that flower bed because of the drainage. So I'm gonna show you that. Then y'all, so stinking excited. For whatever reason, here where we are in North Carolina, we get the most monarch butterflies in September. So if you are a faithful watcher of our channel, you know that last year Mimi installed a butterfly garden. I got inspired when we redid the cottage garden over here behind all the construction. You can't even see it, but it's back there. I wanted to attract butterflies and monarchs, and guess what? I have monarch babies. Yes, I do. I've got some baby caterpillars. I'm so excited. I just discovered them today. So I'm gonna show you that. So it is just a kind of a project update, one of those videos. It's just gonna be a lot of fun. So we wanna bring you along for the journey because let me tell you, my yard is destroyed. So let's take a look and show you all the products and everything that we're doing. So because I know that a lot of people get a lot of inspiration from videos that we do and of course other projects from other folks. So let me give you all the details. Let's start here. So where you see all of the brown soil, this is what we did yesterday. And so you can check out that video from yesterday because we had to put in a French drain. The French drain is where the little green flags are. We did that because this entire bed is going to be a flower bed. There's not gonna be any grass here. And so we're going to be putting in some large shrubs that I will show you in just a minute, and we do not want to drill through the freshly installed French drain. So we put down these green flags. Then this guy right here is where the water main is from all the drainage. So this is just a reminder for us not to put a plant directly on top of that. But all of this is going to be a flower bed. Then, while Jerry and I were out shopping for the stone and the plants, we had some gravel delivered from our friends at Kearns Trucking. They just take such great care of us. So thank you, Drew at Kearns. So this is what we consider 89 gravel. So you're looking at, gravel comes in sizes. That's how they kind of gauge it. So this is very fine. It is washed. Let's see if we can zoom in there. There you go. This is going to be the base layer for all of the stone because, as you're going to see in just a minute, this will spread and compact really nicely. Here where the sidewalk is, yes, we are leaving the concrete here because the concrete is an amazing base and we're building up from that. We wanted to raise the level up some. So basically, once it's all said and done, we're going to lose this step right here. So this step is going to go away and the sidewalk will be flush with that step. So we'll only have the one official step up. So the sidewalk will come through here. We've got to add some more soil to this bed. So that's gonna be a nice big bed. And then once the sidewalk is completely installed and all the curbing is on, then we're going to make this area a flower bed as well. So we're completely revamping this entire area. So when we come over here, because the fellows are smart and they're working in the shade right now, they're actually taking a water break. They're gonna shoot me because they're gonna be on camera. But let's look at the stone. So Jerry and I went to our local Site One store in Gastonia, and this is the stone that we're going to be using, the pavers that we're going to be using for the sidewalk, and then we're filling in this area right in here. So I know that you people love to know what this is called. So this is the Bellegarde Holland Stone Paver in slate gray. So basically what they are, they look like solid bricks, right? So they're going to be super easy to pick up, to move, to maneuver, and they're going to be in there super tight with one another. So when they're in, you're not going to have what I would consider like a grout line, right? So they're going to be really snug. It's kind of hard to get these guys in there, but really tight in here. We'll use that polymer sand, which the polymer sand is what goes in and fills in all the little cracks and seals it. You wet it, and then it becomes almost like a concrete. So that's what seals in all of the pavers. So we have got that Holland Stone Paver in slate gray. Now, for those of you that watch us, you might be familiar with this spot right here. So this area is the nice shady area that they're working in, and you can see where they've gotten that gravel down, and it's nice and compacted because we actually have a compactor over here, trying to stay out of everybody's way. So we have a compactor. It's this little machine that has a heady plate on it, and basically it vibrates, right? So they were putting it down, got it nice and level, compacted it in, and so you can see that you've got this lovely base layer for those stones to go. They've got all their string lines up, and they're actually starting on that very, very first block down here, which is like the most critical. So everywhere that you see, it's going to be like basically an L shape. So from this point all the way down to where the fellows are, and then cutting back to the house. Let me come over here on this side. And then that straight line that's going to go right there at the flower bed, then all of those are going to be those pavers, because that is where we have the hose link goes. I have my bench, I have of course the hanger that goes on the wall, and so it'll be nice to get out of the gravel and into pavers. Again, so if you're a faithful watcher of Gardening with Creekside, you might notice that we're missing a couple of plants right here. So when Jerry and I got back from shopping, they were already, because they had to dig all this gravel out, right? So they had to dig down a ton and get rid of not only all the gravel that was on there, but then red clay, and to really create that kind of that hole so that they could build the base back up and then put the stone on, because they knew exactly what level that they wanted it to be with the house. And so you have to, sometimes you have to dig out to build back up. So that's what they did. And then right here on the corner, I had two hostas. It was my Wiggles and Squiggles, which was huge. It is a massive one. So proud of that hosta, because it's hard to grow large hostas where I am. And then we had the white feather right behind it. And so they were in the way because of where that the curbing, the edge is going to go. And so they asked me before they did anything, which I greatly appreciate. So what we did is we had Jackson with the excavator dig up the whole clump, so a massive clump. I don't care about the foliage. It's going to be fried here in just a little bit with a freeze or a frost, really trying to protect the roots. So he dug it up, and then we have an area of like bulk compost. So he dug out a little hole and put it in there. So he healed it in, and so it's just going to hang out there until they finish, and then I can add it back to the garden. So sometimes you just have to move things, y'all, to make it all work together. So it definitely made their life easier moving those two hostas out of the way so they can do exactly what they want to there and get going on that. So that is what we're using. Now, with the curbing, we were calling it an edge. When we went to Site One, it's not called an edge, it's called a curb. curbing because it's meant for curbs along driveways, sidewalks, exactly what we're doing. It's gonna be nice and tall. I'd have to look at the specs, but it's gonna be nice and tall, and we're gonna, because you have to have halfway bury it and then it sticks up. So they did not have any at the store, so they had to actually order it from Bellegarde. Bellegarde is going to deliver it to them, then SiteOne's going to deliver it to us. So I don't have an actual block that I can show you, but I will show you a picture of it so that you can kind of get that vision of what it's going to be. So let me show you what it's going to be, and then exactly where it's going to go, and then let's go talk some plants and let's talk some monarchs. So that curbing is going to go basically right beside of Chandler. There is an orange line that goes from here all the way to the wall. So it's going to go in a straight line from the wall straight out, and then we have a straight string line. We don't have it right now, but where the stakes are, that goes all the way. And so that curbing is going to do a straight, perfect line and go all the way to the length of the daylilies, a little bit past the daylilies, and then it's also going to go to the right side of the driveway. So we're really framing in this entire area. So the driveway will be framed. I don't know if you can see where that orange cone is, and then my pop-up bag. So that's where it's going to go, and then it'll stop, and then we'll have the field. It will also go on each side of the sidewalk. So it will, of course, come down here and then swoosh around and then tie into the house. Same thing on the other side, and it will swoosh around and then connect out to what's on the side of the grass. We are not going to have it going in front of the sidewalk because, of course, it will have a lip on it, and so we don't want that lip to be there. So that curbing hopefully will get here. Today is Tuesday, so if it gets here at the end of the week, first of next week, it'll be fine because the guys have to, of course, finish the pavers that they're working on right now and then do this entire sidewalk. So that's going to take them a minute to do. All right, let's go look at plants. Miss Brenna is hanging out in Johnny. Yesterday and today really is her favorite place to be. She knows the word Johnny. As soon as you say Johnny, she perks up, especially in the house. So she is hanging out right here today because Chandler and Israel do not need a German Shepherd all up in their face. So, because I know people are going to say, where's Brenna? Well, she's here. She's just not running around underneath my feet. Okay, so here we go, my friends. We've talked about this a bunch. I'm going to show you again in case you have missed it. But the plants that are going in this whole space, we have got the Independence boxwoods. These are new gen boxwoods. Basically, they're going to be a 3x3 size. They're going to go directly in front of the porch, okay? So first layer is the new gen boxwood. Then today, Jerry and I went to Stowe's Nursery and we grabbed some of the Mucho Gusto abelias. Abelias are a great evergreen shrub for the south. Basically like a 3x3 kind of size to them. I have them in the signature garden. I have them up at the chicken coop. I love them. Beautiful, classic green and white variegated foliage. Abelias will do beautiful little flowers in late summer. So we've got sweet little white flowers. So this is going to be the next layer. So we have the evergreen of the boxwoods, the evergreen of the Mucho Gustos, and then wrapping the whole front area in the very, very front is going to be the Perfecto Mundo pink carpet azaleas. So here we have, gosh, I think we got like 25 or 26 of them. They're gonna run the whole length from the sidewalk all the way around the porch. So this is gonna be that one consistent plant that is super low growing that will just make the whole space tie together. So we've got those. Then we have got the Firelight Tidbit hydrangeas. We've got 15 of those. So we'll do a mass planting underneath the Hortsman cedar. That's that blue cedar on the side of the porch. We're gonna do a mass planting of these guys. They stay nice and low. They're panicles. They love the sun. Basically, again, kind of that 3x3 size. You prune them every late winter. You're guaranteed to get flowers. The ones in the garden right now are turning pink, so love that. So we'll have that mass planting, and then we're gonna bring some up in front of the porch a little bit here and there. So we have got those guys. Then, oh, We're gonna have the chameleon. This is, we talked about it yesterday on yesterday's video. This is a little blue stem or a schizocerium. And chameleon grass, perennial grass, is beautiful because it has these green and white variegated foliage on it. And then they're just beginning to take on a little bit of the pink and the purple. I'm trying to see if I can get one that has that color to it. These are gonna be 2 feet tall. So we're gonna do a little smattering of those because I do love perennial grasses. So those are going to go in the landscape in the front as well. Now, for the one that I found today. All right, my friends, now let me introduce to you. This is a Japanese pine. This is called umbrella. Now, umbrella is about the cutest thing I have ever seen. I first saw it when we went to Stowe's a couple weeks ago to get our tidbits. And then I was like, okay, we needed a specimen tree to go in front of the daylilies where we had to rip up an entire area. And so I wanted to have a specimen evergreen there, but I didn't want it to be like 30 feet tall, right? Because I didn't want it to block the view of the house or vice versa, us sitting on the front porch looking out. I wanted to be able to see over it. So went and was looking at Cutie Patootie umbrella right here, and it's going to be a great size. So where we are going to be in that maybe that 12-foot range, and the Japanese pines do really, really well here because I have a thunderhead Japanese black pine in the berm. Is almost going to be like literally in a straight line in front of it, but it's like 100 yards away. So it'll work out fine, I promise. That thunderhead is thriving in its new home. And so I was talking with Jeff and Leanne own Stowe's, and so I was like, Jeff, this is going in like full hot sun. He was like, honey, it'll thrive, it will love it. So let me give you an up close on Cutie Patootie umbrella. I'm so excited. I mean, is this not just the cutest little thing you ever did see? And I say it's little, it's not so little, y'all. It's in a 15-gallon. But it is in kind of what I guess you want to call it a standard form, right? And Jeff told me, he was like, do not be afraid to cut on this thing. So like kind of immediately I see that these limbs right here probably need to be thinned up a little bit, thinned out, because they're kind of getting a little low. And I love the fact that it is kind of in that standard form. But it is a pine, and it is a very soft pine. Like I've just been sitting here rubbing on it, and it does great. So you can see that it's beginning to what they call candle. So with a pine, they call that candling. This is new growth. So what's going to happen is this is going to grow, and they're going to form all the new little pine needles on it. And that's where you get your growth. So you can see how it's kind of got that a little bit of that uneven look, which is what I want. I do not want this perfect little ball. And so see all that beautiful, can you see now? See how you've got all of this is that stem? So this was candling. Now this part is candling, and it will put the needles on here. So this is all of that beautiful new growth. Again, nice and soft because I am a tactile person, and I love to touch the plants when I can. And so umbrella will get a little bit, they call it, it says it whirls, which kind of, that new growth will kind of have that funky habit and shape to it, which I think is just fantastic. So what I plan on doing with the umbrella is that it's going to go in that daylily bed. It will be a specimen plant, and then I can come in and plant things that are low underneath it. What I'm thinking to go underneath umbrella is one, we're going to put back because we had to destroy them and take them out, was the Perfecto Mundo double white azaleas. So they're going to still go back in front of that flower bed. We have a couple of those in different areas here in the front, so it's all going to kind of tie in together. So the Perfecto Mundo white, the double white, will go back in that flower bed, but it will be more on the front. So I think between the umbrella and the azaleas, I'm going to do some butterfly bushes, because that corner is, when I say it's all day sun, I mean it is, the sun comes up, the sun goes down, hot, hot, hot. It's right beside the driveway with the gravel. The plants there have to love sun, and all three of those will absolutely love sun, so they should do great. Again, planting in the fall in the south, this southeast, this is the time to plant. as of right now, where umbrella, the azaleas, and the butterfly bushes are going to go is not on irrigation. We've toyed with the idea while we're destroying everything to go ahead and put some drip irrigation in there. We'll see if that happens. If it does, that's amazing. But really, by planting all of these plants this time of year, September, October, November, December, here in the South, you absolutely can do that. Those plants will get really nice and established. Their roots will get happy, get really strong root system before next summer's heat hits. That's what we have to worry about in the South. In the North, you have to worry about getting your plants established before the cold hits. We have to worry about getting them established before the heat hits. So we kind of have, a little bit of a difference of timing on planting these shrubs and these trees. So in the South, Southeast, the fall is the perfect time to do it. That's why we're doing this major project now instead of like April or May. I do not want to be planting all these plants, personally I don't, in late May into June, because that just means more work on me and more stress on the plant. Can you do it? Of course you can. Absolutely you can. But it's easier on the plant and easier on the gardener if you do it in the fall where we live. So that is kind of the rundown on the plants. Also, let me, if you forgot, let me show you the other cutie patootie that we got from Stowe's last time when we were there for the tidbits. Look at this cute dwarf Colorado blue spruce. Y'all, I have always wanted to have an evergreen that is in that blue family. But because of where we live in the Southeast, with our heat and humidity, that can often be quite challenging. However, this Colorado blue spruce, this is a Glauca globosa. Basically, it's going to be 3 feet tall, will work. Now, where we're going to be putting this is in that along the driveway, kind of near where Chandler and Israel are working, in that area. So it will get morning sun, but a break in the afternoon, which is really key because this would be hard to keep that really beautiful blue color and have it to grow really well if it got full all-day sun here in North Carolina. So that little cutie is going in. Now you might notice that I haven't talked about the Cheyenne sky grasses. The Cheyenne sky grasses I went ahead and grabbed because I am going to be adding them to the cottage garden, which is behind all the trucks. So I'm going to be adding those this fall. We were running a perennial sale at the nursery that they were all 50% off, and so I wanted to make sure that I grabbed these Cheyenne sky grasses before they all got sold out. So as you can see, Jenny has got quite the plant stash going on here, and y'all, this is only one stash, but this is a big project as far as landscaping. So they're all hanging out here because I have a hose link directly behind me, so it'll be super easy for me to keep them watered, and I water them every day since they are in containers, and as you can see, they are just thriving. All right, let's go look at some monarchs. This time last year, we were deep in the project of this whole area with a cottage garden extension, putting in this retaining wall. We did the patio, we did that retaining wall up there. It's a whole playlist, so you can go check that out. Again, used all the Bellegarde products on this. So again, like I told you earlier in the beginning of the video, is that I wanted to create part of this cottage garden, the part that's closer to us, to really attract the pollinators, right? Your bees, your butterflies. And if I could get some monarchs, man, my life would just go to the next level of excitement. And so I planned accordingly, right? So we put in the petunias, I started zinnias from seed. We had cosmos, we've got salvias, we have got verbenas, we've got agastache, we've got lantana and butterfly bushes, all of these plants to attract the pollinators to this garden. And let me tell you, the swallowtails and the bumblebees and the honeybees have loved this space. And every once in a while, I will see a monarch flitting around, and I'm like, oh, go to the milkweed, go to the milkweed, because monarchs have to have milkweed. That's the one host plant for your monarchs, is the milkweed. And so I did the, I think it's the tuberoso milkweed. So it was the yellow darling and then just the orange one, which is very common, right, that you see that. No sign of life on those. And then Mama gave me some milkweed it's called Hairy Balls, which Cece gave Mama. We've been swapping plants around all the time, y'all. And that seems to be the one that my Mama has gotten more of her monarchs on. And mine, I have 3 plants, they're staked up, and they look pitiful compared to my Mama's. My mama's are huge. Mine are just spindly. And so I was just talking to Mama yesterday, and she was like, you know, have you checked? And I was like, no, my plants look terrible. They're covered in aphids. I can't imagine that there's actually any, you know, caterpillars on it. She's like, well, you need to go check. And I was like, okay. Of course, did I do it? No, I did not. So then Cece was down right before lunch, and she's like, we were talking about it, she said, let's go look. And I was like, okay. They're everywhere. Let's go look at these cutie patooties. Alrighty, so here we go. I don't even know if you can really even like truly see them. You can see there's one here, there's one, two, and then there's the third one, which is kind of like right in here. And so Cece and I came up, but see how light, they're very like thin, they're not thick, they're not really super well branched. But you know what? Do the monarchs care? No, my friend, they do not. Let's see. Let me get zoomed in. All right, sorry, the camera, it would not focus while I was filming. So I took some pictures so that you can see. So I had, when I counted, I had like 6 on one plant, I had 5 on another, and then I had 1 on the third one. So very, very excited. So again, they are on the hairy balls, but I have quite a few of the tuberosa, the hello yellow, and then just the orange one just right below them. So if they were to run out of food, they do have another milkweed to go to. At the recommendation of both Mimi and Cece, who are way more experts on monarchs than I am going to really begin watering and making sure that the milkweed has plenty of water so that it can generate new growth. 2 of them are already starting to put out that new growth, so hopefully I will be able to sustain the life of these sweet little caterpillars, because my gosh, they have just a voracious appetite. So I will keep them watered, and then basically other than that, we just leave them alone and let them do their things. I want to say it's 12 days in the caterpillar stage before they begin to form their chrysalis, so I will keep you updated on that. Good news of those folks who do kind of follow the whole monarch butterfly story, because they are considered an endangered species, but I saw an article this summer that the numbers are greatly increasing. So this is fantastic. The awareness is working, and so much fun. So if you are interested, I know this Saturday, September the 6th, Mimi is going to be hosting a free tour of her butterfly garden, so you can learn all the tips and tricks from her. So we have a 10 o'clock and an 11 o'clock tour. She did say if there's enough demand, she'll do another one like after lunch around like 1. So if you're interested, you can check out the Facebook page. I will have that linked for you. And then of course, or just come here on Saturday. So very exciting, lots of fun things that are happening here at the house and in the gardens, and it's just all very, very exciting. We will keep you updated on everything. As always, if you have found this fun, informative, and inspirational, we would love it if you would like and subscribe to Gardening with Creekside. Again, if you're a local, go check out Stowe's, because let me tell you, that is a dangerous place for me to go, because every time I go, I find plants that I have to take home that day, and then I saw more plants today that I'm going to be thinking about and dreaming about. So Jeff and Leanne, you just may not get rid of me yet, because my gosh, they have got some beautiful, beautiful plants. They are basically a wholesale nursery, but they're open to the public. So anybody can go shop. I will put their information for you so you can check out Stowe's if you are in the area. Gorgeous things. I did get the last umbrella, so there you go. I got the last umbrella, and then when we went and we talked about the Colorado blue spruce, that's kind of a mouthful, the dwarf one, I told you that there was 3 left. Well, guess how many were left today? None. So I don't know if y'all went and got them, but somebody went and got them. So, but they have lots of other great options for you as well. All right, I've done enough talking. Y'all have a great day. See you next video. Bye, friends.